isteyen partneri Valentin Denizier'i çağıracağım ama kısa bir bahsedeyim. Valentin, bireysel bankacılık danışmanlığı ile ilgili yeni teknolojiler alanında 17 yılı aşkın deneyime sahip. Yapay zeka kültürüne liderlik ediyor ve şu anda üretken yapay zekanın etkilerini değerlendirmek, kullanım örneklerini tanımlamak için bir sigorta şirketinde de icra komitesinde görev yapıyor. Bize bugün bilimsel teknolojiler ve üretken yapay zekanın sigortadaki yeri ve kullanımı hakkında bilgiler verecek. Biraz ufuk turu yaptıracak yapay zeka konusunda. Valentin.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Before starting my presentation, I would like to, as the other guest, thank the organizers and EY Turkey for the invitation. So we have 30 minutes, or roughly 30 to 40 minutes of the coffee break, so courage. And I will not speak about catastrophe. I will speak about opportunities and cost reduction for the insurance using what we call generative AI. Amongst you, how many have heard about Gen AI or have already used ChatGPT? Just raise your hand. So not that much. Okay. So a brief talk about the agenda. So I will do a brief introduction around Gen AI. What is it? What it means? What it means within the insurance sectors, and concrete use case and example. Due to the time allowed, I will only have the time to show you one video around the claiming process, but I think it illustrates quite well how this kind of technology will impact your market. That being said, we'll finish with the limitation and perspective because as you will see, most of the French insurers have started to work on that kind of technology. So it's for you to understand that we are at a it's a game-changing technology. So first, some conviction. Gen AI is not nice to have, even if it's quite new, and I will come back to that point later. It's really mandatory for you to understand that it's a game changer. Not within the industry, but also within the market, for yourself, for the insurance, for the banking sector, for everyone, from a professional standpoint and also for the personal standpoint. You need to have a holistic view, meaning that even if it's a technology, it should not be part or considered only as a technology. It should be taken care about the impact that it will have across the whole set of services. So please consider the ROI aspect and not consider the fact that Gen AI is only a technology. The speed, the adoption, the release, I think there is not a single week where you cannot find new articles, news around new models, around new aspects that Gen AI will provide or will have on the market. Experience will matter. Some of the organization has already started to work on the AI stuff, so what we call now the classic AI. So those organizations will be on the top line to deploy at scale, because that's one of the key topics around AI, is that you need to develop at scale the stuff. It's easy to do some POCs, it's easy to do some MVPs, but it's difficult to get the deployment at scale across an entire organization. And obviously there is some risk, and there is really important risk. The main one, when I speak to people, is how do I protect my data? How can I manage the IP, so the intellectual property, to be sure that I will not share my content and my intelligence to the other organization. So I will address that point as well. So Gen AI is not new. Gen AI comes from an evolution of the artificial intelligence. We set the birth of Gen AI in 2017. Why? Because that's in 2017 that some researcher from Google has released a paper that created or release the transformers. That's the famous T in ChatGPT. So it's the architecture of the transformers that really changed the game and allowed the birth of the large language model as we know them. The second important date is late November 2022, as the release of ChatGPT at some point kind of make the people to realize that AI, and especially Gen AI, is there. So what is Gen AI? Gen AI is an artificial intelligence that generates content. As of today, there is 4 kinds of different contents. The first one is text. ChatGPT, for example, generates text based on a question that you can raise in natural language. It can also be used for code development. Just one idea of how the technology has already spread across the world. We estimate that as of today, 50% of the world code production across the entire financial service industry is produced using ChatGPT or the equivalent. So the adoption is massive, considering the fact that this kind of technology is really new. Sound and image. Why we are mentioning this? Because within the insurance sector and within the financial sector, voice is important, because it means that you will be able to replace or enhance the people that are working on outline, for example, by the equivalent of the artificial intelligence. Why image? Because within the insurance sector, usually if you have a claim, you have to upload your image, and using the power of Gen AI to image recognition, you will be able to do some very interesting stuff. I have the demo after. Second thing to notice is that as of today, the Gen AI is limited to one content, meaning that ChatGPT, with the exception of ChatGPT-4, produce text, or produce sounds, or produce images. Tomorrow, one model will be able to produce or generate both text, sound, image, video at a less extent at the same time, meaning that instead of having multiple models, multiple machine learning models, you will only have one that is capable of addressing a wide set of use cases. What is impressive with this technology is that the time needed to spread that technology and to reach adoption was unprecedented in the history. It took only 5 days for ChatGPT to reach 1 million users. To reach 100 million users, it was only 2 months. Just to give you an example, Netflix, I think you all know Netflix. It took Netflix 7 years to reach 100 million users. And now we are almost around between 200 and 300 million users per day. It's because once you have started to use it, I mean really use it, not to play with, it's something that is difficult to get rid of it. On the image, mid-journey, there is more than 2.5 million images generated per day. There, from a marketing point of view, we expect that by the end of next year, meaning 2025, between 30 and 40% of all the marketing content will be generated using Gen AI. So it's massive in terms of adoption and in terms of things that could be achievable right now. On another area, not related to insurance or financial sector, Gen AI was used to develop a cure for a specific treatment that could took years to, in fact, to be developed normally. So it took 21 days to have a fully complete drug developed using Gen AI. It's in trial right now. Evolution, I was talking just previously that the quickness of the evolution of the technology is just unprecedented. It's just massive. It's an example, a very concrete example of the evolution across just 1 year. In March 2022, with the same prompt, so prompt is the text you input as an entry for the generative AI. you see that, yeah, it was an old lady in front of a coffee with some plants. So you can see that, yeah, the image is not that good. You can say that it's generated by an AI. 1 year after, it's difficult to say if it's an image generated by the AI or it's actually a real picture. So think about, and it's one of the risks, think about tomorrow fakes. We already saw that fakes have an impact on the financial market, but within the insurance market tomorrow, if I create an image of my car, for example, with some damages, are you able to distinguish what is true and what is fake? So it's going to be a little bit difficult. What it means in insurance. In insurance, it's not us that's telling that. Most of the use cases, or at least the best use cases, are around claim prevention, customer services, assistance, agents, and what the board are looking for is the cost reduction, obviously, and operational excellence, and to a less extent, some revenue generation and client and employee satisfaction. So most of the use cases we are currently dealing with are focusing on that space. But they are not the only use cases that could be achievable within the insurance. This is a typical value chain, insurance value chain. So you can see that under from the marketing to the underwriting to the claims and debt collection, you've got multiple use cases. That's why I was saying at the beginning, don't consider this kind of technology only from a technical standpoint, from a technology standpoint. It will have impact across the whole set of activities. Not only the vertical one, meaning the one where you are speaking to clients, but also on the supporting function. I talked a little bit about the IT side, but you can find stuff around regulatory, around finance, again, around human resources. Performing a job description or writing a job description using GenAI is just a piece of cake, if you allow me the expression. Having a comparison between the adequation of a profile to a job offer is also something that you can do very easily. And regarding the regulatory side, we expect that most of the regulatory report, which is quite painful to do and usually a source of errors in terms of data quality, will be reviewed and generated by GenAI because that's always the same format and it's always the same data in there. So what are the approaches you can see in the market? Three sort of interest. So for few people, few actors, there is only few level of prioritization of AI. They are not the majority. The majority is at the center. They saw or you saw generative AI as cost-cutting tool, mainly. So meaning that you will deploy GenAI on the internal processes to reduce the cost, to be more effective, and to enhance the value. For some that has already played with GenAI and already performed some POCs, some of them are focusing on the right side, so we could see value creation using this kind of technology. Some of them will decide to use their own model. It's a very limited part of the business. Most of you will use ChatGPT, will use APIs, will use models that have been pre-trained and developed by other entities, because it's very costly. So in terms of impact on the market and impact in terms of business model, again, the main focus of our customers as of today are around reducing cost. So augment the workforce, augment the employee, use GenAI as customer support, and use it for data and data production. But again, you can realize that yeah, it works. You can grow your revenue either in terms of market expansion or generated completely new P&L using GenAI by releasing new services, by releasing products that are by nature or by design powered and enhanced by GenAI. Again, on the processes as well, we have had the RPA a few years ago. It was working okay, but it was not a game changer. Now you will be very far from what you have known already based on the RPA. So few actors see really competitive advantage directly on using this kind of technology in terms of creativity, in terms of quality, and so on. Concrete example. Those are publics. I'm currently working with insurance that are not listed on that slide. So the big actors within the insurance have taken this kind of technology. The most advanced as of today is AXA, because they have a close partnership with Microsoft, where they want to deploy by the end of this year ChatGPT or a version of ChatGPT designed especially for AXA for 1,000 users. Allianz and Generali have also worked or start working with the technology, especially on the claiming process and on the legal side, because reviewing contracts is something that is painful and that needs a lot of people, usually. But now you can just send the detail of your contract and identify what is missing or what you have to review and remediate based on the evolution. Some other insurers, French insurers, also start to work on that, especially to create stuff, to create marketing content around podcasts, around data, around asset manager. And we are seeing a lot of startups emerging based on ChatGPT technology that kind of wants to realize new chatbot or the next generation chatbot around advisor or just around customer relationship. So use case and concrete example. To illustrate that, we have developed a lot of demos, because slides is good, but demos and videos are better. I don't have the time to show you everything, but that's just a quick description of what we have done. So we have done demos on client interaction, knowledge management, something that will be also largely used in the future. Email analysis for some of the some of the insurer are also an asset management part. You can use ChatGPT to be your financial advisor or to speed up the processes. I already mentioned IT for language conversion, modernization, IT modernization, retro documentation, and obviously augmented employee. An example of the claiming process. So that's basically a claiming process. So you just imagine that you have, unfortunately, a car accident. So you have to contact your hotline. You have a call center. Now with the speech-to-text, you don't need anymore someone, or at least to a less extent. Then you have to log into the web portal. That's the one I will highlight using a video. And after that, there is financial assessment. There is fraud risk evaluation. So on those part of the process, AI usually is already deployed or partially used. But you will be able to go a little bit further. So video, after that. A bit large. No, sorry. No. Sorry? Yeah. So you are on the web portal, so you put your name, you put your license plate, so the system recognizes you. So it can identify that it's actually you are a client, that you are a car. Usually you have to drop the image of your accident, So this is a car with something wrong in the panel. So tomorrow, today the assessment is done by an expert or by someone. Tomorrow, yes, GenAI can recognize that it's a car and can directly recognize the areas where the damage are. So in terms of how you will handle the process, in terms of speed to deploy this and to answer to the client, it will drastically improve. We put, it goes very fastly, but I will go back. I will put that again, but at the bottom of the image, I can pause, sorry. We put some data that is data basically that all the insurers have within their database. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, just, yeah, if you can pause there. So the model can directly recognize that. No. Go back a little bit, please. Again. Yeah, please stop. So the model can directly, or the AI can directly recognize that, yes, there is damages part, and that the part, based on the historical data you have for this kind of vehicles, is worth, we put 750 euros, but you're going to have models to assure that on top of the AI. So tomorrow you're going to have a mix of classic AI and a mix of Gen AI models that are able to address directly all the points that you may need at some point. And after that, if you can run the videos. If you agree with the evaluation, there's additional question around, can you drive the car, still drive the car? Because we know that insurers, as you know, some contract with garage, so you can directly geolocalize the vehicle, and then if you agree with, again, with the amount, the GenAI can directly take the rendezvous, and you've got nothing to say. So in terms of how you will manage tomorrow your claiming process, it's just one illustration, but you can imagine that you can get rid of experts at some point for the less value. You can improve the fraud detection, so you can really change the way you are doing you are assuming the claiming process again. So finally, limitation and perspective. So GenAI is not, again, it's not a magic wand. You cannot do anything or everything as of today, and it presents some risk. Risk in terms of quality and output. I think you have all heard about the phenomenon of hallucination. So that's the fact for GenAI to completely invent the answer. It's a phenomenon that is less and less pregnant, but that's still the case. So to be used cautiously. That's why you still need a human to review what the GenAI, what the AI has released. Bias and fairness, it's something that is important for the regulator and yourself. Clearly, regarding GenAI, it's difficult to address that point because you didn't build the model. The model has billions, if not trillions of parameters. So explaining to a regulator how you end with such results is not possible as of today. Price and cost, we have been reassured. So the pricing is less than the classic AI stuff that we used to know before. So literally a POC, for example, if you want to try, start at around 50K euros, so not that much. And you've got direct results. So it's easy to calculate an ROI compared to the former or the classic AI. Legal issues, privacy and data security, that's the main concern as of today. And that's why we are doing some stuff around defining a risk framework. So as soon as the people has realized that the technology has really something to bring to a company, we are working on the risk framework. So we define the usage based on not only the technical side, but also on the ROE, on the business, on the strategy of the bank or of the insurer. Then we identify the associated risk based on specific use case. We define criteria, mitigation, and we have a synthesis, and we put everything in production for the boards to be reassured about the use of GenAI. So most of the organizations are at this point, as of today, at least in France. So I hope that you understand now that it's not a question of, how or should we go in that direction. The market has already moved, so it's a question of fastness, quickness, efficiency. But how you do it? There's various ways to do it right now. So from a rapid deployment to a customized approach, most of the people are using either SaaS or APIs. I think you've heard about Microsoft Copilot. So it will be directly included in the Microsoft 365 offering. You have to pay, obviously. It's $40 per person and per month. So not that much, but still a significant amount of money if you have many or thousands of employees. Most of the models as of today start with APIs. And when you are using APIs, the thing is that it's very easy to use. If you have a cloud provider, you can literally deploy the API within days only, and even less than that. So meaning that every single organization can use a LLM model, not tomorrow, but within the next month, within the next upcoming month. And for few of the organizations, you're going to have, or you're going to need specific models. So depending of the choice you are doing, but as it's customized, it's going to take longer. So that's the end of my presentation. It's obviously a very brief overview. I don't know if you've got any question. No, it was very clear? No? So thank you.
Sesi açar mısınız? Çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Thank you very much. Türkiye Sigorta Birliği Başkan Yardımcısı Sayın Ahmet Yaşar. Lütfen sahneye alalım ve plaket için buyurun. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz Valentin'e. Efendim bir ara verelim. Kahve arası dememe gerek kalmadı. Herkes zaten kalktı gidiyor kahveye doğru. Tamam peki verelim.